Hey everybody, welcome to the Brainal podcast. This is episode 16, and this is March 2nd.
Yes, you're right.
2016. I'm Jeppy Condile.
And I am Frozen GFX.
I am good coffee.
And Frozen, do you remember how I had that I have that Nintendo calendar?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, so in February it was Toad wearing a Bowser mask feeding chickens. Now it is Peach. She's in I don't know what you'd call that. Maybe kimono? She's in some ceremonial Japanese dress with something, just happy, and she's holding a fan. It's very Japanese, but
kind of like a
so that's
geisha.
gonna keep me company for March. Yeah. So for those of you who are keeping track clearly with the Brainal lore, it may seem strange that this week's episode comes out at a different time than before. We decided to switch up the scheduling just a little bit, so we record these, at least for the meantime, we're going to record these on Wednesday evenings and try to have them posted up by Friday, or the following Friday, I should say. So just, look for us on iTunes, and it's Shout Engine, right, Frozen?
You got it.
Okay, cool. And the YouTube channel. And if you would love for you guys to subscribe and whatever. All right, so a couple pieces of news that I thought were interesting. And Coffee, we're going to get to that thing you want to talk about a little bit later, I promise.
The thing? Okay. Let's do the thing.
What?
Oh,
Is that stupid?
What is the thing?
I didn't say anything was stupid. What?
Dude, what?
No one said anything stupid. What did you say?
No.
Nobody said anything about dongs last time. And nobody said
That
anything
never
about
happened.
abuse.
If you heard it clearly, Coffee said dong. He said dang so weird it came out dong.
It did no. Dong. Dong. No. It never happened.
It's on the podcast, so
No.
yeah.
From your mouth, but not Coffee's.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's see. So you guys hear about Mass Effect getting delayed?
I did not know
I
that.
actually just read that 2 minutes before we started.
Oh, okay. So Mass Effect would be one of the, as far as I know off the top of my head, one of the few franchises that we've all played and are very familiar with, correct?
That would be correct for me.
Yes.
Okay,
true.
cool. All right, so it's something we could talk about. So it was originally thought that Mass Effect would have come out by the end of this year, but one of the EA executives, I don't know his name, he said in a quote, and he was talking about other games too, but he said in a quote that Mass Effect is going to be coming out Q1 of 2017. Calendar year, not I don't think it's fiscal year. So I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that.
Sure.
What was that?
I say, yeah, sure. I'm totally in agreement.
Yeah. What do you guys? This would be speculation. What are you guys expecting in a new Mass Effect game? Because I don't think we've ever talked about this.
Well, I kind of expect it to be like completely set in the same universe, but like a timeline that's either way in the past or way in the future. I'm guessing way in the future. They might bring up Shepard, but I don't think they're going to go into too much detail. I don't think it's really going to revolve around Shepard at all, and I think they've already mentioned that. But it would be cool to see some familiar faces or maybe some familiar jokes. Maybe have the next character talk about how it's their favorite store at whatever new place they go to. I'd be really okay with that.
I love how you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that game's jokes.
Hey, I think it's funny. I love the game. That game made me laugh several times with some of the ridiculous stuff. That was
The way you just said, "Hey," I'm picturing
Hey.
Link,
Hey,
and you are the new Zelda. Your voice is the new fairy, and I'm just picturing you as a fairy. It's hilarious.
hey, Hey.
No, your normal voice.
Hey. Hey.
Hey, what about you, Frozen? What do you think?
I purposely haven't read anything much more.
I don't think
except
they've
for,
revealed anything, right?
that's even better then.
Yeah.
I agree with Coffee in the sense that I think it's going to be it could be either an offshoot of what was going on during the time with Shepard, or it could be pre-Shepard or post-Shepard. I'm kind of up in the air with all those three scenarios, but I would really love to see a more open world environment to explore things and to just kind of get out of that story track that we were led in the last three games. I would love to see that.
I I think about it. I don't feel like, except for the Citadel and places like Omega, I don't remember there being a lot of possible exploration. Right? It's fairly
Yeah,
linear each little section.
Yeah.
exactly. It kind of it funneled you into either the main story or little side things.
And
But
I'm ignoring the what was the name of that vehicle in the first one? Mako?
yeah, I think it was the
Is
Mako.
that what it was where you
Yeah,
scoured those planets? Oh, that's right. And you had that planet resource scanning. I remember that. That
Yeah.
was in 3,
right,
right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, I would definitely love to see that and have different storylines, and yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool.
So you guys know I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, we called it Awakening last week, but it's Inquisition. And if the team behind this Dragon Age game, if they've been working on this Mass Effect game this whole time, then I think we have absolutely nothing to worry about. Uh, I have a feeling this will be one of the most robust games ever. What I don't know is if they're going to do another whole trilogy or if it's going to be a standalone game. Uh, but I hope they do offer a lot of those exploration, more areas, different environments to explore. That'd be really cool.
What do you feel
And I
about?
feel like, what was that?
I was like, what do you feel about the continuation of stories from title to title? Do you hope they do that for the next one if they decide to make sequels?
Well, see, that's the thing. Considering the generation gap, what I don't know is if they're releasing this Mass Effect game for previous generation consoles. I feel like they won't, and I don't think they should. I feel like with this new console generation, they might offer something like with Dragon Age. There's something online called, was it Dragon Age Keep?
Yeah,
I
the
think,
Keep.
right? Yeah, and you could if for some reason you weren't able to, if you didn't link up your save files and your universe that you created before, you can choose the same decisions or whatever in a very nice presentation online to recreate that universe or change any particular decisions you wish you would have had. If they do that again, that would be cool. But considering that they're probably banking on maybe a lot of people won't be able to
Oh.
take their old save files.
I don't think I actually meant not like linking with the old ones, but I was wondering if you were hoping that they do that if they decide to make like a series of them, like link between the new ones they make.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. Yeah, I definitely hope so. But it does depend on how long the game is. Because again, Dragon Age, I think I'm about to go through 100 hours, and
Oh
I'm still
wow.
not done with the game. Yeah, and I think each Mass Effect game was at most like 20 hours each.
Uh, I think I want to say 2 was longer than that. Just because, well, I guess I might be including the DLC. So
Yeah, I'm excluding DLC.
okay, yeah. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
20,
so
25
I would say
hours.
that's a fair. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair estimate.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do the shorter game style or whatever, but I feel like Dragon Age right now, at least on PS4, I'm assuming Xbox One, looks so incredible, completely mind-blowing for me personally. And this is a game that came out 2 years ago that I can't imagine what this game is going to be like when this comes out early next year. I feel like this is going to be one of the most beautiful games we will ever see up to this point. And I'm very excited with what they could pull off.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope BioWare decides to do something with VR at some point. That would be quite amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. Completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a whole different level.
That would be. Oh man, my mind just went to one thing directly.
Oh, I
Yeah.
went there too.
That's
Don't
very
worry
good.
about it.
Very good.
Wow.
The crap was that? Did you guys hear something? Is that from me?
It's nice to have one's work appreciated.
Siri, I didn't.
Is Siri
Sorry
trying
about
to give her impression? Do we have a new member? Of
Yeah.
Oh, when I
it's-
said that's
welcome,
very
Sue.
good, that's very good. She thought I was talking to her.
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
She's
the crap out
starving
of
for attention, man. You're abusing her.
Apparently.
I mean, you're neglecting her.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been delayed, and also what else has been delayed? Something was. Oh yeah, Uncharted 4 was delayed by 2 weeks for early May.
No, okay.
2 weeks, I don't think is that crazy of a
No.
delay.
That game's gonna
But,
be sweet though.
But how? Yeah, I'm hoping, and I don't mean that as I don't think it will be, but how many times has that game been delayed?
Twice now? Maybe 3 times? I don't know.
What I'm more concerned about, no, not concerned. What I'm more curious about is the reason for the delay. I'm assuming by this point the single player campaign is done, so I'm wondering if it has anything to do with multiplayer. Of which, to be
could
honest
be.
with you, me personally, I couldn't care less about multiplayer in a game like that.
Same. I mean, I hear it's quite a bit of fun, and I know a lot of people that play it. But for me, it
Okay, that's
was
cool.
never really the draw of the Uncharted games.
Yeah. I think Uncharted 3's multiplayer I heard was really fun too, but as far as the longevity of it,
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, Frozen, I know you have not played any of the previous Uncharted games, right?
No, I have not.
Do you have any interest in the franchise at all?
No, I mean, I'm interested to try one of the games. It's not on my eagerly to do list.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Especially, I mean, that's the same month Mirror's Edge comes out.
Oh, that game's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I know. Did you hear about the rumor for No Man's Sky?
No.
So apparently, yesterday I think it was, on the Sony the PlayStation blog, there was a bit of a mistake where they posted the price point for No Man's Sky, and there was a listed release date, but it was
really?
quickly taken down, and the release date had a significantly earlier release date than what was planned. So the price point was $59.99, which really no big surprise there. But the release date had it March 3rd, tomorrow. So that's completely out of the blue, and I'm very, very skeptical about that. But there's been a lot of screen captures and posts that shows the release date and the price point. So
Huh.
I don't know. It'd be crazy if it actually tomorrow pops up.
That would
Hold
be
on a
weird.
second. Let me see something.
I don't know if I think I'd be seeing more news of it online if that was the case, like on the sites. I haven't really seen a whole lot.
forget it. If it was a tomorrow release, I mean, there would be so much fever on the net right now. But
You know what I think it was? I think it was a typo. Because video games, unless it's like a Nintendo video game or a really crazy one, they're released on Tuesday. The only month this year that has a third on a Tuesday is April. No, sorry, May 3rd. So I wonder if it was supposed to be like a 5/3 2016 instead of a 3/3.
I don't know. But needless to say, if it comes out tomorrow, I'm gonna have to rob somebody quickly to get my money to get it for that game.
We could rob a GameStop.
They
You have
rob
to
you
do-
enough
you have
already
to.
when you try to sell that game. You know what?
Shout out to Ginger. That applies to every GameStop except yours.
True story. Ginger's a
Yeah.
fine lady.
Yes, she is. Yeah, that game looks awesome. That game, I would love to play that game VR. That'd be cool.
That's a type of game you play in VR and you never leave the house.
Right. Right. Or you can leave the house,
In VR.
but yeah.
In VR. VR.
Man, there was something else that just reminded me of something, and I can't remember the thing. Oh yeah, something I didn't expect that what caught me by surprise yesterday was Heavy Rain came out, the remaster.
Oh, yeah. That game.
Yeah, and I was like, oh crap, I got to pick that up because I love that game.
It was a
That
good game.
I still have. It's on my desk. I've yet to fold it because I lost the instructions. I don't know how to do it. I still have the. When you bought the game for PS3, it came with a.
Oh, the crane?
Yeah, but pre-folded.
Oh.
Yes, I didn't fold it yet, but I have it. So right here, and I feel like I'm gonna do it one day. Origami.
When you
Killer.
do, the events of that game will unfold in your life. So be
That'll be
careful.
awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be so. Jason. Jason.
What?
That'd be cool.
Yes.
We got some sirens. Oh man! Ever since I touched the origami thing,
I told you, dude.
Oh.
I bet it's gonna start raining heavily.
Heavy rain.
Heavy
Yeah.
rain.
There we go. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, Coffee. You talk about what you wanted to talk about earlier.
Well, there's actually two things I wanted to bring up. Could I bring up one or two?
Why don't you start with one, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Well, the first thing I wanted to bring up was the Nintendo Direct that's going to be coming tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
That has me pretty pumped. I mean, I know they specifically said that the NX wouldn't be mentioned in the Direct. I believe it's exclusively covering Wii U and 3DS games coming out in the spring and summer.
Yeah, because I think they got to get that out of the way. An NX is an E3 thing, has to be.
Yeah, they've had their lips pretty sealed on the NX. I think even some indie devs have complained about how hard it is for them to get any information about it because they want to, make games for it, but they don't know anything about it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But what are your speculations for tomorrow's Direct? You got any? Either of you guys?
Yeah. So I feel like they're gonna have to show more about Star Fox. They're gonna have to. I'm not expecting anything for Twilight Princess HD. Are you?
For Twilight Princess HD, they might mention. You know what? I think they'll mention it just to try to be like, oh, hey, remember it's coming out. Go ahead and buy a copy. Like, I wouldn't honestly be that surprised if they mentioned it. But probably really brief.
Yeah. So I'm expecting some Star. What I'm hoping they don't announce a delay. That would piss me.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But they don't announce delays on directs, don't they?
I don't think so. It seems to me like that's something they would avoid.
That they'd say in a
mentioning.
press release or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Star Fox. Maybe new features of Star Fox or whatever. What else? What else will be coming out? Oh, you know what else I'm hoping? That rumored Mother 3.
Oh yeah, the localization.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're like, and it's out right now or something.
You already own it for free.
Yeah.
Sorry for taking
You already
so long.
beat it.
It's dropped.
So, yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, you know what
'Cause,
else I'm
yeah, I
thinking?
told you I bought a cart of the fan translation.
Oh yeah.
And because the original was a Game Boy Advance game, But again, I would rather play an official translation.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a nice surprise. What else would they show though? What else?
I'm thinking they might show some information about the localization release of Shin Megami times Fire Emblem.
That'd be cool. But so that would come out in the summer?
I think it'll part of me thinks that it's going to come out near the end of spring. That's my guess. I'm thinking maybe late May, maybe June. I don't know. That's just a guess. I'm not sure.
Well, let's think about what came out last year on this time. 2 years ago, I remember Mario Kart coming around May, June, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And Splatoon came out around that time too, right?
Oh, speaking of Splatoon, I think they're probably going to announce some more Splatoon DLC. I've heard some rumors about some stuff in the works for Splatoon. It's very popular in Japan, so I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they announce some new stuff for it.
Gotcha. What else are we missing? Maybe some Dragon Quest
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
announcements. I would love to hear more about Ace Attorney. That'd be great. We haven't really heard anything about them. We know they've been working on it.
If we hear more about that Metroid Prime 3DS game, I'm going to punch everybody in the face.
Oh God!
I bet you it's gonna
forgot
be
about that.
heavily
That
Metroid.
terrible...
That'd be cool if they're like, we're not doing it.
Yeah, remember that?
It's like the
No,
Harlequin fetus of the Metroid world.
But at the same time, I'm not saying that game would be bad, but I have absolutely no interest in it.
Yeah.
I think let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's just pretend that never happened.
What else are we missing? Maybe some Amiibo news?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced some more
Some
Amiibo
Bobos?
stuff. I think they're probably going to talk more about Miitomo, don't you think?
Yeah, but I thought you said it was 3DS and Wii U stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Unless
I
they're
guess
showing
so.
more My Nintendo stuff.
Okay, yeah, good point.
I don't know. Maybe Pokemon. No, Pokemon Go would be. I don't know.
Oh,
Nah.
I'd be so into seeing more of that. Like that, just
Man,
Pokemon
what
Go
else?
sounds
I'm
amazing.
trying to think. Well, what else was announced last year that we've forgotten about? We technically don't know when the new Zelda's coming out this year.
No, we don't.
Slim chance whether like it's gonna come out in the summer.
I feel like that's going to be more of a E3 type thing. I feel like they're going to have that alongside the NX. I think they're going to release it for both systems, which I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's both good and bad. I could understand why they do it if they did decide to do it, but wouldn't know which
Or I
version to
think
get.
I think they're just going to release it free at all game stores after their Nintendo Direct. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming out tomorrow before Twilight Princess HD.
Exactly. Exactly what's happening. It's going to be a 2-for-1, right? So you think you're getting Twilight HD, but you're getting that and the other.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see that there's some? They actually, you know what? I just won't say it because I don't know if you've seen it or not, and you might rather see it yourself. So I'll just leave that one alone.
That's cryptic, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're
So
welcome.
wait, let me see. So this is something you've seen online that's it's a rumor?
No, it's not a rumor. It's something I've seen that's in the new Twilight Princess HD that's kind of like a fun little Easter egg.
Is this something very difficult to see in the game?
No, I mean, it's not, no.
Okay. It's like 100-foot tingle.
Yes, actually, it is. And it's actually a VR tingle. You could, like, have them dance for you in your
I
room.
would love a virtual reality tingle dating simulator.
Oh, yes.
Shower tingle.
Shower with your tingle. Cool.
Oh man. So that I'm excited. So I think when is it? Is it? It's like 2 p.m.
It's 2 p.m.
Pacific.
PST, so it's gonna be 5 EST. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Oh, what am I gonna be doing? Oh man, working.
Oh, I'm gonna be coming back from class. I'm probably gonna get into a
That's
car
perfect.
accident trying to get back in time.
I still don't think that would even stop you.
No, it wouldn't.
I know.
I'd have Superman show up and just be like, "Yo, I have an emergency. Take me to the
Yeah.
nearest Nintendo Direct. Actually, just take me to the Direct where they're broadcasting. I just
Take you direct to Nintendo.
direct Nintendo. Yes,
Oh, yes. Huh? What?
yes.
What was the other thing you want to talk about?
I don't know if this is on either of you guys' radar. I'm really excited about it. I've been kind of jaded about Kickstarters with the whole Mighty Number 9 thing, but I'm seeing more and more information about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and I think that game is looking really, really good. I'm very excited for it. I don't know about you guys.
Just want to be clear. So that's from the same guy who did the original Castlevanias,
Yes,
or
Iga.
the important Castlevanias.
I believe. Are you talking? Are the important Castlevanias? Are you talking about Shadow? Wait, Lords of Shadow.
Well, I know it's not that guy.
No.
I'm assuming there's a guy who did the Symphony of the Night.
Yes, yes, it is.
Well, I don't know his name. Do you happen to know his name?
Igarashi. I don't know.
Ikaruga?
Yes, his name's Ikaruga.
Tokami. Okay. Got it. That sounds right, what you said. So I haven't looked up. I've seen one screenshot, and prior to seeing that screenshot, I had no interest at all. But after seeing that screenshot, I was kind of a little shocked in a good way. So can you just elaborate a little bit more about the game, like when it's coming out or what's supposed to come out, whatever?
Okay, so to my knowledge, the game actually isn't coming out until 2017. So
Okay.
they're still in the starting phase of it, but they've been working on the shaders and they've been working on the 3D models. And I mean, it's done. It's not 2D sprites like the other Castlevanias has been, but they're using full 3D models. But they're using cell shading in a way that you'd have to look up what they put up, but it's really, really beautiful, and it really mixes that 3D 2D vibe in a really, really attractive way. It's probably the best use I've seen of cell shading since Wind Waker HD. So
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I know they have even some of the same composers that did the music for Symphony of the Night, and I mean, it hit all of its Kickstarter goals and then some. So they're doing a 2-player. That's going to be the biggest castle he's ever created in any of the Castlevania games. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you know which system it's supposed to be released on?
Yeah, it's going to be coming out for PS4, Xbox One. There's a port of it that's being handled. That's coming out actually for the Wii U. That was one of the stretch goals. So it's coming out for the Wii U and also the Vita.
Oh, Vita is cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd want to play that PS4.
Yeah, probably me as well. But
If it's 2017, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be like an NX launch title or something.
yeah, I could see that being the case.
Frozen, are you a Castlevania fan at all? I don't know if we ever talked about Castlevania.
Not really, to be honest with you. I mean, I've played the older games, but haven't really kept with it.
I've only played on the NES. Actually, wait, I gotta be more specific. I've watched someone play a little bit of. I think it was, which one was Dracula's? I forgot. It was 2 or 3.
I think that's 3.
Dracula's Curse, is that one?
Oh, I think that's the second one then.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen someone play that, and I remember that game was intimidating to look at when I was a kid. The first one that I played, and this is the one that a lot of people don't like, but I loved Castlevania 64.
Oh
I
yeah,
loved that game.
I never
hard.
played it, but I heard it was kind of a camera nightmare. But
Yeah, but I mean,
hey, if it was good, if you
at the
enjoyed
age
it,
that I was, I didn't care. I loved Quest 64.
I was actually, you know what? I was actually just about to mention that game. I thought you were gonna bring. Perfect.
Oh man, we should hug.
We should let's snuggle.
But yeah, so like that game, I actually beat Castlevania 64. I remember the music was really cool. Yeah, and I remember, I forgot who you were, but I was a guy who obviously had a whip, and I went into a castle, and it was obviously. Anyway,
Oh really? You
the
just
idea
described
was,
every Castlevania.
I remember there was a girl. I think her name was Rose or something, and I think she ended up being like a vampire, and it really scared me at the same time. But it was cool. That's the only castle. No, and then I played Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Never played Symphony of the Night, and I'd like to do that one day. I feel like I would play that to get ready for
Oh, Symphony of the Night.
Bloodstain.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
you got to give that game a play. I mean, it's a classic for sure.
Well, you know how I've previously felt about
Sure.
Metroidvania
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
but I've really grown to appreciate them more ever since Ori.
Yeah, fantastic game by the way. They're actually coming out with a director's cut of that. I saw that's adding some new areas, enemies, and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. Speaking of that game,
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's definitely on my radar now. The visual art style from what I saw in that screenshot reminded me of the cutscenes from Fire Emblem. As far as how vibrant those are, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
So, yeah. First one, was there any news you want to bring up? Other than you already talked about No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no, that was it.
You guys play anything new or interesting? You played Broforce.
And Broforce was cool.
Yeah.
Broforce-
As of now, that's still being uploaded to our YouTube. It's just for anyone listening. It's a one-time. We're not doing a series. It's just three of us just playing, trying it out, and the clip is gonna be, I think, at least an hour long. But yeah, I mean, I had fun, but
I thought it was a fun game.
Yeah,
I wish that cactus game was picked.
I do too.
yeah.
Oh,
I
by
had
the way,
fun, but it's not going to be a game that I'm going to continue to play. And Jeppy, I know you said that same thing yesterday.
yeah.
It's just one of those things that is, hey, it's free. I'll download it. And that's about it.
But the only thing I could see is if, and there were hints of this, is if there were more puzzle-like elements to it, where you trigger one rocket to go up that triggers another thing to go. I thought that was cool. But another game, it's difficult, and I had it and I started playing it, but I didn't continue because I got sidetracked. Is Galax Z?
Oh, I started
That
playing
game
that too. It's
cool.
It's
It's
pretty cool.
Oh, I haven't touched it yet, man, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah, it's very retro. Not Sprite. It doesn't look like a retro video game, but it's very retro inspired, I should say. Very stylized, very Macrossy.
Feels kind of arcadey.
Yeah. So it's cool. The physics are top notch in that game.
Oh yeah.
But let's see.
I like the animation. It's kind of goofy Saturday morning cartoon mixed with anime.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Have you guys been playing anything new this week? I mean, it's only been a few days since we podcasted.
No, I'm still jamming on Fire Emblem and started the DLC on Dark Souls 2.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. What about you, Frozen?
Nothing much. I'm pretty much setting up to record some new games soon.
Cool.
Having issues with some of the old stuff, like the Riven and Journeyman
As far as with the
project.
computer?
Yeah, some weird things are going on. I got to figure that out. But other than that, really nothing new.
I been playing a little bit more Link's Awakening, so I'm just trudging through that, and nothing new other than Broforce.
The Bro Down
I've
Showdown.
been playing more Dragon Age like crazy. Like,
Well, you say you've been hitting up The Witness some more.
Yeah. My friend came over today. We played a little bit more, and we just discovered we're trying to get past this one puzzle, and there's something we're not getting. So we go to a different region, and I'm not gonna give specifics, but we're kind of. Let me just put it this way: the way this game is, we're just walking, and then she was walking through like a little part, and I'm like, wait, stop, because I looked at the shadows of certain trees, and I realized the shadows showed something very particular, and we discovered something about this island. We're like, holy crap. And then it really made us rethink everything, which is in a great way,
Real talk.
and it's awesome. What was that?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Would you say coffee?
I said,
didn't- oh.
I said real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh god, I just wish I could just play that game. Just you can only do it once a week, so
Oh, wait.
either way,
There's one thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot about.
go for a coffee.
Have you heard of? I'm sorry, I actually interrupted you. Let me go ahead and let you.
Oh, that's
finish
pretty
your
much done.
thought. Okay. Did you guys see the trailer for the VR game Golem?
No.
No, no idea what that is.
Okay, so it's PlayStation VR exclusive. It's a first-person game, and it's by ex-Halo developers.
Okay.
And it looks really cool. Well, the really cool part of it is that I think you kind of you could shrink and grow, and part of it is that you actually go through the game like really, really shrunk down in like a really pint-sized golem, so you could like go around and you're exploring and seeing like things like Ant-Man size pretty much. So you see like cockroaches and all that kind of thing in VR shrunk down, which sounds pretty cool. And in the trailer, it looked pretty cool. And
Sounds terrifying.
yeah, it's like Honey, I Shrunk
Give
the
me
Kids,
Outlast.
except but yeah, it also has a thing where you could, I guess, possess really large golems and fight other giant golems and like sword fighting or something. I don't know. Check out the trailer. I think it looks interesting.
Okay, that's cool. But I mean, just based off of what you described, it does seem like it suffers from the typical launch title syndrome of not it seems like a
Wii
tech demo
Sports
concept.
Wii Sports type thing.
Hey, Wii Sports is dope, but I'm saying
Yeah, what I'm saying is don't know yet. You don't know. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I don't know. We'll see. Either way, VR, please VR, please.
Bless.
I just can't wait.
Oh, that pissed me off about the Conquer. They brought back Conquer and made him like, ugh, no.
Oh, I
the
did hear about
HoloLens thing, the young
Yeah,
Conker.
he looks so bad now. Ugh, they really screwed him up.
Yeah, you know what game I heard actually looks really cool. The way people are describing, like maybe I might want to check it out. Is the whatever the new Ratchet and Clank game coming out is. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game before.
Oh,
ever.
really? I
Yeah.
played a couple of them. They're a lot of fun.
The thing is, for some reason, this is straight up bias from my part. I never got into any of the PlayStation platformers. So the whole Jack and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot, and Ratchet and Clank thing, especially with Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, I always got those confused with each other
Yeah.
because they seemed a little bit like what Banjo-Kazooie was trying to do. And it's just for the longest time, and it's still like part of me where it's just, if it's not a Nintendo platformer, it's 3D platformer. Then why are you wasting your time? But
I hear
I feel
you.
like I might need to give that one a shot.
Well, I mean, you got to think about, if you had thought like that the entire time, you never would have given Psychonauts a shot, and that game's amazing. So.
Yeah, but that game was so stylized, and I already knew the pedigree of Tim Schafer because I played Grim Fandango and stuff. Where I was just like,
Good point.
Yeah, count me in.
Well, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised if you decided to give him a shot.
I've never heard one bad thing about either of those franchises. So I think I would give it a shot, but we'll see. But I have no idea when it's supposed to come out. I know another thing that kind of worries me is supposed to come out the same time the movie is, but but I from what I understand, I don't think this is a direct movie tie-in. I think it's supposed to be a legitimate next Ratchet and Clank game. It's cool.
Speaking of which, I hope they get Vin Diesel to play Sonic in the Sonic movie.
That thing you showed me.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I got nothing else to bring to the table for news or what I've been playing.
You
Yeah.
guys want the question of the week?
Oh, you know it.
Oh, you hit me
know
up.
it, Frozen.
All right. So I would like your opinions on what you think the state of gaming would be today had Nintendo been the
Don't
Sega
Oh God, these questions.
I hate this
of,
question.
Oh, really?
I feel like there'd be a lot more furries.
No. We don't hate the question, but let's put it this way: we would treat this question very seriously. This is something.
Yeah.
Coffee
Yeah,
and I
this-
talk about.
Well, this is the reason why I brought it up, because the both of you seem to be equally passionate about Nintendo and have a long history of, just Nintendo in general. So I'm just interested in hearing what you two think. Where would we be at now? What are some things that you think would exist and would not exist?
Can you give us a hypothetical point in time in which they would have made that decision?
Yeah, so 1991, with the launch of Super Nintendo, it was Nintendo's answer to the Sega
The Genesis, yeah.
but the Genesis was 32-bit, I think.
No, 16.
It was 16? Okay, so 16.
Until they had the 32X.
Right. Okay, so it was a 16-bit, so the Super Nintendo was the 16-bit answer. So let's say back then that...
Like that was their
things
last
just-
console.
Before the
That
64.
was it.
Oh, geez. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, this
yeah.
is simple. So we're assuming the Nintendo games the franchises have gone on to other systems, right?
Yes, that let's say Sega purchased some of the licenses for.
So it'll
the
be
other games,
Sonic
similar to what Sonic
and
is.
Mario at the
Just like
Olympic
it is now.
Games instead of Mario
Yeah,
and
right.
Sonic at the Olympic Games.
I
Right.
think it would help to know if we should see what hardware innovations Nintendo has come up with after that point, right? And then we could kind of assume that, well, if Nintendo exited the hardware business, then those particular innovations either would not have come out or would have been severely delayed, right?
Yeah.
So what was Nintendo the first to do after post-64 hardware-wise?
Are we going to include the Rumble Pack? Because Nintendo did the
Yeah.
Rumble Pack.
Yeah, as far as I know, there was no Rumble feature in any controller at all before, at least console controller, before the Rumble Pack Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
As far as I know, from what I understand, what came out first, the N64 or the Sega Saturn?
I think the Sega Saturn came out first.
Okay, that one might be a little bit strange because I always thought that Nintendo was the first to have an analog stick in their controllers. Stick, I know that's true, but I think the Sega Saturn had some analog weird nub or something. But nothing else. Everybody else followed suit with Nintendo, at least with the Rumble Pack. They followed suit with the first true good wireless controller, of not using infrared but using radio frequency, the Wavebird.
The Virtual Boy, obviously, the Sega Virtual
Yeah, the
Boy,
most
the
important
Sony
innovation.
Virtual Boy. Yeah, those all happened.
Let's see what else.
Obviously, the motion controls for the Wii.
That's a big one. That would be the most. But you could argue at the same time. I mean, what did that bring us from everybody else? The Kinect and the Move,
Yeah.
and that's not really anything to write home about. But I mean, obviously, it did have a huge impact anyway.
It did. Did.
What else? So you got that. The shoulder buttons were already introduced from Super Nintendo.
Oh man, I can't imagine a world without the 3DS though. Like what? That would be
Or
horrible.
the DS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would have been the Game
Or the Game Boy
Gear
Advance.
DS.
Yeah.
Say it again?
Said it would have been the Game Gear DS.
Oh, God, no.
I love all the batteries that you put in the back of the Game Gear. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was a game in itself.
Yep.
No Game Boy Advance. Obviously, another very important thing, no Game Boy printer.
Oh.
No, that's not true because I think that was for the original Game Boy, right?
Does that mean Pokemon was never a thing? Because I'm pretty sure it does. Because I think Super Nintendo. Oh, geez, I don't know.
Pokemon was on the original Game Boy, right?
Yeah, it was.
Which was
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea is, we're assuming any hardware before Super Nintendo, including Super Nintendo before, still is released, and right?
Yeah. I'm thinking if Nintendo gave its IPs out to other companies, it would have. I think it would have had an effect on. I think probably Link might be talking by now. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we'd see him probably sooner on some really high def systems, but I feel like a little bit of the soul would be sucked out. I mean, kind of like what's happened to Sonic.
I don't know because I mean the people, you know how Nintendo is
Yeah.
making their. Here's the way I see it: if Nintendo, even to this day, they still have their own system, exclusive everything, and they're still taking, except for some recent Mario games, like I'm talking about the new Super Mario Brothers series, they've been taking pretty good risks with their games, even being exclusive. I don't think that would have been lost on them if they were to go multi-platform. That's why I'm just thinking more or less the hardware side of it. What would have been lost? What else are we missing? So the Wii had, the motion controls. The Wii U had
GoldenEye 64
gamepads.
would have never happened, man. Ooh.
Say it again.
GoldenEye would have never happened. I could imagine. What the heck would have.
That's not true.
You think it would have been on something else?
I mean, that's software.
Yeah, but do you actually know that they put it on something else? You don't know.
Yeah, but you don't know that they wouldn't.
Can you imagine playing GoldenEye without that boomerang controller? Because I can't. I don't know about you.
Well, that's true because I mean, we can think no one else had an analog stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what else?
Do you guys think that online gameplay would have come sooner and more widely available?
No.
No.
No. How I don't understand how that would.
Well,
have been.
I think
Nintendo didn't hold anybody back with that though.
Yeah, but wasn't Sega one of the first that had like their own dial-up gaming network, like the Sega Channel or something like that?
Yeah, on the Dreamcast, right?
For Phantasy Star Online.
Was it that late? I thought it was the Sega Genesis. I thought the Sega Channel was way back in Sega Genesis.
Okay, but I need you to explain to me why Nintendo, the presence of Nintendo doing hardware, would have prevented that from coming sooner.
Well, why are you just restricting in hardware? I don't understand that.
Because that's the whole premise of this is they stopped making hardware and they're just going to software. Am I correct?
I didn't pigeonhole it into just hardware. I'm just saying the state of gaming in general. Where do you guys think it would be?
Hold on. Can you please explain if Nintendo didn't do what? Or the Nintendo did what? I might be confusing.
If
something
Nintendo didn't exist after the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I thought you said if they went the way of Sega.
Well, I mean...
No, I'm sorry. That was
Yeah,
that's
me
clearly
too.
an assumption I made.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
too.
okay, well then I'm sorry that I let you guys down the other path. So yeah, I see what you're saying because Sega really was just more about hardware
Yeah.
towards the later stages, right?
I mean,
No. After the Dreamcast, I thought you meant they decided to not make any more consoles like Sega did after the Dreamcast and just decided to go completely on 100% software
That's what I thought
and
too.
still make
Yeah.
games. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no. Hey, you can continue on with that. That's fine.
Well, no, but yeah, that's why I was so focused on hardware revisions.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. That's. I look. If you were picking that particular time in which Nintendo just, for some reason, and we're assuming that nothing they did before was not successful, right? That
Yeah.
they were in a downward spiral. Just all of a sudden, they just packed up and stopped, right?
Yeah, like that whole rivalry back then. People just got more on the Sega bandwagon than they did Nintendo.
Man, here's the messed up thing. The messed up thing is one of the franchises, and I am speculating, but I feel like one of the core franchises that kept me in video games is Zelda. I feel like if I pose this question to myself the whole time, like, what if I were to only play one video game or one franchise for the rest of my life? What would it be? And I would definitely say Zelda. Definitely Zelda, Zelda, Zelda. I don't honestly, and this is me personally. If Nintendo just called it, put in their hat at that point, I, you know, I don't know if I would really be that much of a gamer I am now.
I would agree.
If it weren't for them.
I would agree because I feel with Nintendo, there's something like, yeah, there's times where I want to play, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole any of the other companies, but I feel when I want to really get to that feeling of like kind of like the almost like childlike discovery and kind of feeling with games and just really quirky, interesting, bizarre stuff like Splatoon, for example, just Mario Galaxy, things like that. I feel like only that's just a Nintendo thing for the most part, and with them gone, I don't know if I. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'd be playing as many games, frankly.
I do think overall, though, just with businesses in general, I do think overall everything would have. To answer your question, I think we'd be behind it across the whole board where we are now, and that just comes from the idea that competition spurs innovation. So if you remove somebody as important back then, especially back then, as Nintendo, the competition would have been there to like, okay, for example, recent consoles. So I've noticed a pattern with a lot of the console makers. When they achieve massive success, usually the next system is not nearly as successful. And I'm not saying by comparison, I'm just like below average. So I think the last, not including PS4, PS1 was successful, right? It clearly was, but not nearly as successful as PS2.
True.
Correct?
True.
Yeah.
And they got so successful that I feel like being super successful, not having that much competition, really just inherently makes someone a little soft, and that's why the PS3 and the beginning didn't do
That
as
price
well.
point that was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox, yeah, which was stupid. Xbox was fairly successful, especially for a first system, right? But 360 won that last generation, and now look at the Xbox One. Like, they made mistakes. And then look at the Wii, right? So Nintendo was very successful, Super Nintendo. Then N64, GameCube, as much as I love those systems, they were not, I don't think, successful, right? On a commercial level. And then it forced them, because of competition, it forced them to innovate and make the Wii. And that was so successful. Now look at the Wii U, you see? So I feel like if you removed, and I think this would be true for any of the console makers, not Nintendo specifically, if you removed Microsoft today, or Sony today, or Nintendo at any point, whatever, I think the whole gaming environment or industry would just be not nearly as, where they are now. I think it'd be a whole generation behind at least. And I think that would be the safest thing I could say without any further speculation on my part, at least. So
I would agree with you.
Cool.
But
Oh.
I would freaking, if there are no more Zelda games, I don't know. I don't know anymore. What am I gonna play? Witness?
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
I'm gonna play PT?
Well, I appreciate you guys talking about that because I was really interested in more on what you guys would have thought about that. And
And Frozen,
Clearly.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate your can-do attitude and winning smile. That I just have to imagine because I haven't seen it in a while.
Remember the butterbeer?
Yes.
the way you said that, I haven't seen it in a while. It sounds so depressing.
Because I haven't seen it. It's been a while.
But Frozen, what do you think? What do you think as far as your question? What do you think the video game industry would be?
You know, I took it in a different path, just the way that I was thinking about that question, and you know, I think there would have been a plateau that would have turned a lot of people off on video games just being video games. And I also think that the game content would have gotten to a state of being more mature sooner than it is now. Because I mean, you know, we're getting.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of games now that are very adult centric. I think that would have came out a lot sooner, had a lot more controversy, and I just think it would have been one of those things over time. It just been mediocre and have its own.
We'd have nothing but night traps.
Yeah.
There'd be way more, you know, even more brown. Everything would be brown.
What?
I'm talking about just all the war games where everything's brown colored.
Oh, the palette.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree with you, Frozen. I'm thinking that's kind of like asking where would animated movies be if Disney called it in, you know,
Right.
at some point.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you.
I think there would have been a lot of strange hardware and innovation with that, but I also think that would have also caused frustration and just the limitation of technology during, you know, around that time.
I still think Sony would have still, because I remember the history they had. I think because Sony and Nintendo had a falling out during that Super Nintendo phase. That's what led to PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still think the PlayStation would have been made. But yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I prefer not to think of such things. What I see on my little end table next to my desk is a 3DS and a Vita, and they're best friends.
They hang out all the time.
Yeah,
Danganronpa and Phoenix Wright for everyone.
that's all you need. That's all you need. Oh my God, I can't even imagine a world without Phoenix Wright. Hold on, gotta catch my breath.
That world would be Phoenix wrong.
It would be.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. Good question, man.
Thank you.
The stressful one, though.
Yeah. Now I need to go
The
take.
scary
Now I
one.
need to go sleep it off.
By sleep it off, I mean not sleep because I'm terrified.
Yes.
Anybody got anything else to talk about or whatever?
No, good.
No?
I'm good, dude.
That's cool because my bowels are creaking like a haunted pirate ship. Yeah, exactly. I knew that was going to come up at some point. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. This has been episode 16 of the Brainal podcast. And again, look forward to our episodes being posted on every Friday. If you guys have any questions or whatever, or any topics you'd like us to discuss, you could just tweet us. What are we at? We're at BrainalOfficial, right?
Yeah.
On Twitter. Or you can leave a comment on YouTube or whatever. Just let us know. And talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace.